Okay, so you want your drone license. That makes sense. I wanted one too. So I went and got one. I passed it. I passed it the first time. The first thing you'll want to do is go to FFA.gov. You'll want to go to that IACRA website specifically. And you register, you create a login, and you apply for the license. And you'll get an FTN, an FAA tracking number. You'll need that tracking number, so hold on to it. And you'll get directed to a site, this PSI talent site, True Talent, and that is where you will schedule your exam. And I scheduled mine 14 days out from the day I'm scheduling so that I had a lot of time to study because I was totally unfamiliar with all of this material. So I scheduled at an aviation center near me. And then the FAA provides some study materials you can just download and print from their website. But the questions that they give, they don't provide the answers. So I found this very helpful gentleman made a YouTube video going through the whole study guide that the FAA provides. He goes question by question, gives the answer, and an explanation for each answer.
High density altitude is the same as high altitude.
I've linked his video in the description below, as well as everything else. All those links are below.
Do you want to fly in high or low density altitude? Think about that.
But the most helpful
thin air
website was the one this gentleman provided. And this is King School, and it's free, and it's a little more difficult than the study materials that FAA provides. And I took it 4 times. And every time I took it, I scored a little bit better. So I highly recommend you go take these prep exams. Link is in the description. And then I finally paid $18 for Udemy and took a full course. I recommend the Udemy course just for getting some good foundational knowledge and not just memorizing questions and answers. But after a good 10 days or so of studying, an hour or maybe a little more than an hour every day, I needed a break. I needed to clear my head, clear it of all things FAA drone related. But I did just fly my drone around. I even went to Robert Durst's old house where he killed that guy. All this was making me feel a little reflective. And I started thinking about the past year, how long it had taken me, how many mistakes had been made, learning how to fly this little thing without crashing it. I mean, I'm still kind of crashing a little bit, but I've gotten much better. And I've gotten a better drone. I started out with some cheap drones. I learned how to solder wires, learned how to solder their little legs back together, and finally got pretty proficient and bought a drone I thought I could work with. And I'm currently flying the DJI Mini Pro 4. It has a very good camera on it. And it's a sturdy little machine. A lot of power in that little guy. Okay, back to the subject at hand. So, although I did go to the 3rd grade and I did pass it, I just remembered nothing of longitude and latitude lines and how to measure them and read them on charts. And you have to read a lot of charts on this exam. But although I studied longitude and latitude, I didn't get a single longitude and latitude question. Okay, this guy coming up, the guy with the beard, his video helped me.
Part 107 exam.
I'm going to link it in the description.
All fresh on my mind. What I want to do is kind of take a few minutes and discuss some of the things that I saw on it, some things that kind of took me by surprise.
And jumping to the day of the exam, I went to the local aviation center took the exam. I passed the first time I took it with 82%. And then about 5 days later, they emailed me my temporary license, and they said that my permanent license is in the mail, so I'll receive that pretty soon. And now I'm just working on getting my first official drone job that I can legally get paid for. Just to sum up, I scheduled my exam 14 days out, and I studied maybe 15 hours. That Udemy course really helped get just a foundational understanding. Make sure you look at a lot of charts and know how to read those charts. And on the exam day, they give you a booklet full of charts, and the questions will reference those charts. And there's a legend in the front of that booklet that is really helpful. You'll find answers, in fact, in the legend, a few. But then a few days before the exam, I did just cram. I did flashcards on YouTube. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. But the ones mentioned in this video were really the ones that were very good and very useful. Even that guy with the beard, I got one of his questions, and the answer was disappear. That's all I can remember. The answer was disappear. But anyways, best of luck. I'm sure you'll pass if you study.